Holy shit.
Activating soft penis.
Well, that sounds good.
The fuck up.
Fire team, dirty bomb. За родину!
Good news, we're first place.
Reactivating soft
The dirty
penis.
bombs have come online.
Oh my god, at least it's not hard. I hate hard mode.
Let's wrap our dicks together like a pull apart Twizzler.
Not like a no, dude, like an Indian braid.
Yes, like a braid. Oh, just blew his fucking arm off! You gotta learn today! You gotta learn today!
Heads up, incoming supply drop.
I got those dismemberment rounds on my two guns now. I'm having fun.
Be careful. I'm pretty sure that
I
arm was
just want to
extra.
blow. I'm just here to blow dicks off and take them home in a bag.
I'm here to blow dicks off and take names. And I'm all out of
Use that uranium to prime a
names.
dirty bomb.
Maybe just blow dicks.
Hostile counter spy plane established above.
I'm here to piss John Carpenter off and make a sequel to a movie.
You're gonna be rich.
Enemy spy plane inbound. Artillery targeting detected.
They're at 30.
Net call, incoming artillery.
15.
Fuck yeah, the
15.
doors in this game mode work. It's just like Modern Warfare.
Some of the doors were.
Next gen
Hostile
feature.
gunship above.
That was the next gen feature of Modern Warfare. The doors work. You can hear footsteps from 2.8 miles away.
I shit you not. I
Net
just,
call, incoming artillery.
because I'm fucking gay, I just tweeted, because they gave me the screen and they were like, hey, you can change your field of view now. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, you can put it up to 120 now.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck? What, like, how are you gonna announce that like it's a fucking achievement?
Oh, well, I mean, you weren't able to do it in past Call of Duties, and it's a major advantage because most PC players have a much higher field of view. Because they have a smaller screen, with a higher field of view.
It's a
you want
compensation.
a higher field of
Net
view.
call, incoming
You do,
artillery.
but it's a compensation. We should have always fucking had it, is my point.
Well, I mean, it's also a system problem. It adds more to be visually rendered, so it makes things slower.
For sure, but I don't pick a fucking job up unless I know I can do it. I don't launch a game unless I know that I can make sure that my console players are actually going to be able to fucking compete.
Well, that was always going to be a problem when they added crossplay.
Alright. Which part of Treyarch do you work for?
No, it's the fact on the PC there's a longer draw distance too, but there's little things that they do to change it. So you can't see players at a certain draw distance even on PC.
Oh, dude, I gotta
If they're
feel.
like- I don't know. I'm playing on my Series X.
I don't even know what that means. What is that? Some outer limits? That sounds like outer limits.
It's the new one of the new consoles.
I just like outer limits. It's a TV show.
Like what?
Outer Limits. The outer limits. It's like the Twilight Zone, but like for the 90s.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I remember that one episode of that guy who has like a little insect colony that worships him until they eventually eat him. Which was a do you remember that episode?
I
They were
don't.
like termites or something.
Enemy counter
Oh.
plane inbound.
No, but I remember an X-Files episode kind of like that.
Oh, well, because there's a Twilight Zone episode where a guy goes to a different planet and then he encounters tiny little people and then he thinks he's a god and is cool to them and whatnot.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, the
But I've
description.
seen-
That's the thing
I've
about
seen
the-
all the X-Files. I've seen all the Twilight Zone episodes so many times. I think Death's Head. Death's Head. And the Midnight Sun and Mirror Image are probably my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone. Oh, and I Shot an Arrow into the Air is another good one.
Which one was Midnight
I
Sun?
mean,
Was
they're
that the
all
one
really
where the world was ending?
It's the one where the world is starting to overheat and everyone's just sitting in their apartments.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
getting
remember
really,
that.
really hot. And then that guy comes in, who ends up trying to attack the chick during the middle of the whole thing, but it turns out it was a fever dream, and it's actually freezing cold, and that guy was her husband. So either way, they're dying, but she had a dream that it was so hot.
I didn't remember the end. Spoiler alert, man.
Supply
Oh, I
box
thought
inbound.
you. I assumed you've seen it.
Oh, I have. I just forgot the end, and you spoiled it for me.
You're
For the
welcome.
however manyth time I've. I bought that on VHS at an old comic book convention for like $2.
Oh man, nice. I just I saw what I saw like on most of the stuff of Twilight when I thought. Yeah, he's back by the way. He's been back since 2018 on Shudder. He's got his newest specials coming on Valentine's Day. Joe Bob Put a Spell on You is the name of it.
I gotta
I'm
check
pretty
that
sure
shit
they're
out.
gonna do. Oh, dude, you gotta get Shudder if you want the best horror streaming service.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit. I just pirate everything.
Well, you're actually gonna have a problem with that because I could not find any torrents for Joe Bob's last drive-in show. Because I actually looked for them actively because what happens is, you know, how every streaming service they only license movies; they never own them forever.
Oh yeah.
So if a movie goes away, then also the Joe Bob version of it goes away with his like. He'll turn an hour and a half movie into like 2 hours and 30 minutes because they'll bring him in for so much commentary because it's, you know, on TNT it used to be 30-second to 1 minute breaks. You get the top split
Supply
second.
drop deployment.
Well, some of his
Underway.
intros are 19 minutes long where he's just talking. And it's really great.
19 minutes.
Yeah. Well, he's got so many just fantastic little details about the films that you would never think of.
Oh, dude, he
Shit,
never had
what's
enough
that
time.
person? Yeah, this one gives him plenty of time. So he's had 3 Christmas specials, and there was a Dusk to Dawn Till Dusk marathon originally
Till
2018. So they played like 25 movies. It was fucking gnarly.
Joe Bob Briggs. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I literally watch an episode every night. Tonight I'm like deciding, well, not it's actually this morning now, but deciding whether I'm gonna watch The Changeling, which is I enjoy that one quite a bit.
Ooh, that's a
Or
classic.
he's yeah, that one is so good. Or Dario Argento's Deep Red is another favorite. He's done more new movies. Not many, but he's done a few new movies like 2015 Esgasm, stuff like that. But it's more fun to watch the older movies with him because there's more story behind them because they've been around longer. Watching a new movie with him doesn't feel quite as satisfying.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't just manifest culture.
I'm almost positive one of the movies for the 2000
Helicopter above.
or Valentine's thing has got to be exploitation flick.
I didn't watch that. I thought exploitation films were over.
No, the exploitation films, they're still hanging around. Depends on how loose you want to go with exploitation, because
That's true.
it really depends, because like the torture porn era, like the mid 2000s, that would have been exploitation movies basically.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. All the Saw movies. What was that one?
Yeah,
Get that guy's name.
Hostel.
Yeah, Hostel.
Yeah, I never really liked Hostel. The first Saw movie is genuinely really good. I don't really like the rest of them. Well, number 2, it also got some pretty good twists, but on number 3, it just went full gore hound. So I didn't really care as much because the story was just so fucking good. It was almost Hitchcock level for the first movie. Like
Honestly,
was not
it was
expecting that
underrated.
twist.
Like I'm frustrated by how many people were like just dismissed it, but I was like, that's actually really good.
Yeah, they don't know. I think it's the rest of the films just confuse people. They see the rest of the films, and they are torture films. But if you just watch the very first movie, it's a self-contained, astounding thriller that's more on the edge of a thriller than a horror movie. It's so tense.
Definitely. And it's, at the end, I love the sort of the campiness of the end.
It was that ending. That was one of the first times since like The Sixth Sense when I had first watched that, where I had my mind blown that much. I was like, holy fuck. The only other time I can think of would be Christopher Nolan's The Prestige, when I found out there was twins. I was like, what the fuck? There's very few twists that blow my mind that heavy.
Hostiles have detonated a dirty bomb. Radioactive contamination is
I watched The
spreading in this
Prestige
area.
and I was like, I didn't really care that much. But I
Understandable.
yeah.
That was the same year. There was like 2 magician movies. There was The Illusionist with What's His
Yep.
Face.
Yep, that's
American
that's
History,
what did it.
And then there was
It was like the volcano and what was that? The other one?
The Illusionist, and then Prestige.
Dante's Peak. That's what it was. It was volcano and Dante's Peak.
Artillery targeting detected.
Oh, see, I never even saw any of those ones. I'm just curious about the other ones.
Radiation levels are
Dante's Peak was actually good. Volcano was pretty trash.
Is one of those ones with Tommy Lee Jones?
Be advised.
Tommy Lee Jones was Volcano. Pierce Brosnan was Dante's Peak.
Enemy RCXT
Okay, I have seen them.
I mean, they were kind of like, you know, they were 90s movies, but
Yeah,
Okay,
they're just
no.
like super blockbuster type.
Dante's Peak at least had a little bit of science.
The one where the kids are swimming in like a little watering hole and a volcanic ember goes through them. I think it must have probably been Volcano.
In Dante's Peak, there were at the beginning. So at the very beginning, it was Pierce Brosnan and like his wife or whatever, and then she ended up getting like hit in the head by like one of the things that came out of the volcano, and that was pretty fucked up and weird. But then later on in the movie, a little bit, there were some kids that went into like one of the hot springs and got boiled alive.
Okay, that is that one. Okay. Wait, there's one that's got the intro of the movie, and he's testing the ground with electricity and bringing the worms up because he's zapping the worms.
That's a good.
It's one of
I
those
remember that.
volcanic movies. Yeah, he's just there to test like the purity of the soil and whatnot, but you know, putting electricity put in there makes the worms kind of, you know, in pain, so they'll start climbing up.
It must be Dante's Peak because there was like way too much. There was like zero science in fucking Volcano. It was. I mean, it was entertaining, but it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I've fallen out of touch or not out of touch, but just out of interest with regular
Z-trap. Enemy
Christopher
attack
Nolan
helicopter
movies.
above.
I have no interest in seeing it. I already know about the time inversion thing. It's just seems like a refined version of Inception, and I thought Inception was good enough.
Oh yeah, I haven't bothered.
Like-
After Inception, I was like, I'm very concerned about anything that you would have to do to try to top that.
Yeah, there was really no. That was enough for me. I was like, that movie is amazing. I went and saw it in the theaters 4 times by myself.
Yeah, this is like M Night.
And I just had no interest in Tenet, so I never saw that one. But ones that have been good,
Spy plane inbound.
Aaron Benson and Justin Moorhead, The Endless. Have you heard of that movie? It's on Netflix,
No.
I think. They made 4 movies now. The newest one is Synchronic. But their movies are set in a shared universe, which is really cool. And basically, there's one called The Resolution. It's about a friend who gets a video from his other junkie friend who's been out in a cabin.
Oh,
So
I
he
know
goes
that one.
there-
Yeah, I saw that. That was actually
Okay,
good.
yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Well, there's a follow-up movie to that, and it's linked to it. It's a secret sequel called The Endless. Highly recommend checking it out. If you haven't seen it, it'll make your day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely gonna add that. Like that movie was like very, it was weird, but like in a way that I was okay with.
Yeah, it's a very talky movie. It's got like a Richard Linklater vibe to it, but they also have that epic sci-fi vibe where they kept getting more and more tapes and shit, and then get in the car and there's a CD. It's like they keep hearing what's gonna happen to them, and so they're like, well, shit, we gotta change our plan and all that stuff. You find out a lot more if you watch The Endless, basically what was going on.
You know what it reminded me of was a little bit like Event Horizon, like that, the way it kind of escalated,
Oh yeah.
and the
Yeah,
people just went
man.
fucking batshit. They were like, okay, well, I'm gonna buy into this whole thing.
Yeah, fucking Event Horizon was so disturbing when that came out. That one scene from the little touchscreen that they have, holy fuck! And that scene is edited. There's way worse cuts of that scene.
I gotta get a
But
fucking
just a little
director's
bit
cut of
of it that
Event
you can
Horizon.
Oh man, see, I saw it when it came out. So 97. I'm 33 right now, so I would have been still pretty too young to see it.
Oh, I'm
And
35, but
that-
I just didn't see a lot of. I'm from a really small place. I'm from a really small place, so we had drive-in movies and shit. I saw Congo and Species at a drive-in movie theater.
Oh my god, Congo, I hated that movie. Fucking hated that movie. It pissed me off. I was like, fucking monkeys are not scary. This is stupid. You know what movie I saw at the drive-in was
And they had
fucking,
lasers.
Holy
Ooh,
fucking
I
shit.
actually, I'm not even kidding. I saw that at the exact same drive-in theater. I still remember to this day that fucking guy winking.
I didn't know if it was bad or not at the time of watching it. I was just kind of like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I had no idea, but it's got Ice Cube in it, so in retrospect,
It's like, whew. That just
after
good
Varsity
lord.
Blues came out, I was like, oh, Anaconda was not good.
Oh, you know, the one I really like is, I think it's from '98, Sphere with Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, dude, Sphere is one of my
really-
favorite movies.
Supply drop inbound.
I love the way that they put that set it up as chapters. That made it so much more engaging for me when I was younger. Blew my mind.
I read the
Shit.
book before I ever saw the movie, so it made
Oh,
perfect
see,
sense.
I never read the book. I missed out on that shit.
I read a lot of Michael Crichton.
Oh, that's a Michael Crichton book? Okay, then.
Yep, yeah. Actually, so is Phantoms.
Oh, Phantom is fucking awesome. It's Ben Affleck's best movie.
I know, right? Sadly, sadly.
Counter spy plane established above.
Even Jay and Silent Bob. Oh yeah, like in the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Again. Oh, you see Ben Affleck and Phantoms? That shit was lit, or whatever they say. I don't remember, but I remember them saying it, and I was laughing so fucking hard. 'Cause I was like, well, at least they like the movie. That movie kind of got trashed.
No, I guess my opinion about the whole thing is colored by the fact that I love the books so much. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Phantom, Sphere, anything by Michael Crichton, I fucking loved. So anytime the movie came out, I was just ecstatic.
Phantoms was just so far out there. I was not expecting what was going on.
Oh, the
Seeing
book
that
was
when
way
it came
better.
out. Well, I imagine. I just, as a kid seeing it though, it was one of the most exciting things ever. I was like, woo!
Oh, 100%. If you read the book, there's a lot more like backstory as to like I started. It was like my conspiracy theory moment, honestly, as a kid. It's fucked up.
Have you read the? It's Dean Koontz, the Taking. Surprisingly scary.
I read a shitload of Dean Koontz too, but I don't remember.
That one's about specifically a couple wakes up and something's not right. Like it's raining, but water tastes weird, and you see a giant ship over them. Boom, with fucking intense.
I'll take a look at that too.
Oh my god, that's so good. If you haven't read House of Leaves by Dan Zabowski,
Oh
I read
Jesus,
that one also.
that
one's got
fucking book fucked me
Nava
up.
Davidson. That book is so fucking epic. I read that in, I think, 2006 when I was at work. I would just read it on my break.
Oh,
Oh man,
I don't know how.
I kept waiting for each Nava Davidson report. Well, his next book, Only Revolutions, is even harder to read.
I didn't read. Thank God I didn't, but I probably will now.
Oh, it's even worse because the entire prose is entirely poetic, and then you've got the male's story on the top and the female's story on the bottom. So you have to turn the book upside down to read it.
Oh,
Whereas, yeah, before, you know how in House of Leaves the book messes with you, it's only because it's showing Johnny Trump's descent into madness.
Yeah, you have zero idea what the fuck is
that.
coming next.
Man, that's a good. I haven't read Zabowski's new book. I don't know if it's actually even up, but it's that. I think it was called Familiar.
I don't know. I never, honestly, about that particular author, I never read anything other than House of Leaves. That fucked me up enough. Like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager and my friends were reading it, nobody knew if it was real because the internet wasn't a thing yet.
Oh.
It was genuinely like,
Oh.
I was concerned.
But that book came out in like 2000, 2005. Did you guys? not have
2005?
internet? Yeah, that book, House of Leaves.
I graduated in 2004. I remember them reading it like maybe 2000. It must have been 2000. I don't know. 2002?
Because I remember when I found out about it, I was like, oh, I was a few years off. I missed out on this one.
Oh, I'm
Has
sure
me
they probably
wondering, huh?
they probably read it well after it came out. I'm from Indiana, so they didn't. We didn't necessarily have the most what you would call
Heads up.
up-to-date
Incoming supply
media.
drop. Be advised,
Yeah, it did
mission
come out in
location.
2000, so that's probably when you did read it. Yeah, see, I didn't get to it till 2006 or 2005.
Yeah, I didn't read it until after my friends, so I have no idea when they actually read it. But I was like, the way they talked about it, nobody knew if it was real. And then after the internet, like shortly after the internet came out, people started making like web pages and shit.
Use
But
that
I mean, the
uranium
concept of a house that's bigger in dimension on the inside than on the outside had me hooked immediately. I could not wait to get away from Johnny Truitt's story and get back into him reading Zampano's, Nava Davidson record. And I just was so excited to read that book within book.
He did a phenomenal job of actually conveying it too. Like, you wouldn't think that would be scary, and then I was like, oh, this isn't scary. It was scary.
Not really terrifying for me when they hit that stairwell. They end up on the stairwell for like 3 days, but it just
Yep.
keeps going down and down.
And that
I was
guy
like,
goes
oh my
batshit crazy.
fuck. Yeah, and there's like kind of Minotaur sound making noises throughout the labyrinth.
Ugh.
That was intense.
It was effective though.
I love it so much. That was back when I was super into Lovecraft. I was trying to find like
Oh, that was
every
absolutely cosmic horror level shit. It felt like.
Yeah, see, at the time I was trying to find more kind of Lovecraft mythos, because you know how Lovecraft allowed other authors at the time to add to his works, so he would, if they thought it was a decent idea, he would incorporate it or whatnot, so it was always kind of like a shared, created everything, but it ended up being kind of some of it a shared idea, which is really cool. So, I was willing to read certain ones that were created much later, like in 1980 or whatnot. And as far as I can tell, the best expansion of the mythos is Brian Lumley's A Titus Crow book series. It's really wild. He's got a coffin-shaped clock that can travel in 4 dimensions.
Supply drop inbound.
What?
He gets into a clock that's shaped like a coffin, and it's even got a laser on it that he has to control with his mind. But it actually moves in time and space, and it ends up getting him into one of the dimensions with Narlahotep, and he's stuck there for a second, like one of the elder gods, you know, not Cthulhu. Narlahotep's arguably more powerful than Cthulhu. And when he gets to that part of space in that like universe and dimension, he can feel like the evil, and he's like trying 6 books, but you can just buy 3 and get all of them together.
What was the series
They
called?
actually like it's called Titus Crow, and the first book in the series is called The Burrowers Beneath.
Titus Crow.
Yeah, it's.
Hostile artillery targeting.
I wouldn't normally recommend what sounds like some sort of kid like
Artillery inbound.
here. Read this Harry Potter shit, but it actually is full on like a really amazing expansion of the Lovecraft mythos.
No, I mean, you can't discount something just because. I've read too many things, like just Michael Crichton alone. Michael Crichton and Dean Koontz are like that.
Heads up. Incoming supply drop.
I couldn't recommend that to anybody, like an adult at this point, but I'm really glad that I read Sphere and Phantoms.
Enemy cruise missile launch detected.
Oh, yeah, I
Enemy gunship
wish I had read that.
I mean, at this point, it's been long enough that some of that stuff I actually go back and reread just because it informs what I saw.
Yeah.
Like that old guy was talking about like all the people who like disappeared and shit like that, and I was like, oh wow. And then I even though it was like really early, again, no internet, so I was like, well, I've heard of this shit. It made everything a lot more believable.
Enact Cassivac protocols. Better we live to fight another day.
That took way longer than it should have, guys.
Remind me.